Hi, everyone. I'm Dan Bostrom, Rails Member Engagement Manager, and I'm here with Deirdre Brennan, Rails Executive Director. We wanted to find new ways to bring you information about what's happening with Rails and Rails libraries during this time. So we're calling this Rails Minute, and we'll bring you these short videos once a week to try to cover new developments. Okay, Deirdre, let's start light. What is something positive that's happened to you during the shelter-in-place order?
Well, over the weekend was my granddaughter Claire's 7th birthday. So we had a Zoom birthday party for her. And it was, she lives in New Jersey. So they had a car drive-by birthday parade. Unfortunately, it was raining like, crazy. But it was wonderful to see my family that way. It was a happy occasion. So I'm grateful that I get to see them, on Zoom. I'm grateful for remote technology like this too. I guess it
Yeah,
gives me a chance to talk to our members.
yeah. Awesome. Okay, so in terms of what is happening with libraries right now, what are you hearing? What are the topics really that are on the top of people's minds right now?
Well, it's been such an amazing 6 weeks or however long it's been. It's been all about the pandemic, but also just the pandemic in different ways. It's evolved. Um, it's, at first it was questions of whether to close and how to close. And, now we've kind of moved through a lot of that. And now libraries are focusing more on reopening and how to do that and if to do it and, if they should do it. So I think the big question right now that I'm seeing is about curbside and having the right equipment and how to ensure social distancing and all those kinds of issues. And we're trying to keep up with those questions, obviously.
Yeah, okay, so and what about Rails? What would you like staff from member libraries to know about what the system is doing right now?
Well, first of all, I want everybody to be very aware that there is work being done by IMLS, Institute for Museum and Library Services, about the science, because we haven't had good, well, better than good, like authoritative science-based guidelines on how to ensure that materials are safe. I mean, that is so important because we have to be able to confidently, as one of my colleagues said, look our patrons in the eye and say, yes, it is safe to use these materials. So I want to be sure that people are aware of the science. That work is ongoing, and I'm on the steering committee, so hopefully we'll be hearing more soon. I think other than that, we're trying to keep up with the latest developments and plans that libraries around the country. And even yesterday, we got one from Vancouver, thanks to some contacts in California, because of course Canada, they've handled things differently. So their governmental entities are handling things differently. So we're trying to do what we've always done, which is, provide support and guidance and share information, resources, all of that, great stuff that libraries do all the time to help libraries cope with this unprecedented situation.
Yeah, thank you. And the last question, so in future episodes, we like to sort of tackle member questions, especially right now. We know a lot of people have a ton of questions. So if you have any, please let us know in the comments, or you can email them to communications@railslibraries.info. So the last question we just kind of came up with, but I think it's very pertinent. What advice would you give to libraries that are trying to advocate for themselves in terms of continued funding and community support during the shelter-in-place order?
Sure. Well, I think going to our website and looking at the My Library Is website, I mean, we started doing this, providing this information in a different time as part of what we learned in our strategic plan about, telling the library story, being sure that libraries know how to explain their value. And I think it's not it's not any different really at its most basic. It's just that it's harder now. You know, I said at a member update a couple of weeks ago, or maybe longer, who knows, right? You know, this idea that we're not essential is true in some ways. I mean, we're not hospital or healthcare workers. So we're not first responders in a situation like this, but we are absolutely essential to an engaged and enlightened and educated society. And that never changes. It makes it harder right now, but I think we have to, you know, continue to tell that story. And, you know, we got a lot of support too. So we just have to hang in there together.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone. And thank you,
Thank you,
Deirdre,
Dan.